It was strange. The No Kings thing was going on in the Bay Area over the weekend, and I kept thinking it said No Kinks. And I was like, well, that's not very interesting. You want the kinks, but it was No Kings. Dana, who's a supporter, says, and a hypomanic hello to y'all. Hi, Dana. Good to see you. It was funny this morning. I went to Whole Foods I went to Costco and then Whole Foods because, thug life. And I I saw this couple, and one of them had the woman had a jersey on that had the name of my town. And I was like, oh, cool. And I just kind of mentally noted it. And then I went to Whole Foods and I saw the same couple there. And so, of course, I marched right up and was like, hey, I saw you in Costco. And to their credit, they did not just straight up run away or think I was just absolutely crazy. They actually talked to me. We ended up talking for quite a while about all kinds of things. It's so interesting when life just lifes itself and you go with the flow instead of like, well, you're not supposed to talk to people. You're not supposed. It was so much fun. And I got to talk to a lovely employee at Whole Foods about, what did we talk about? Canned mussels and beans, which is, this is my life now, people. I love it. Couldn't be better. Let's see here. All kinds of stuff. Varun MD says, holy shit, Zubin in the flesh. I have to run, but love you, man. Keep lifing. Varun. Good to see you. Is that 3 music references in less than 1 minute in? Ryan Bates, Michelle. So, that I don't think that's a record for me, honestly. I'm surprised I haven't made any other. Ark says it's Def Leppard-ish. There you go. Happy Respiratory Care Week. Oh, what? It's Respiratory Care Week? How was I the last to get the memo? I'm always down to clown with RT. 16 on the peep and nothing to show. Z-Dog is about to make this body turn prone. Now they puffin' and they wheezin', it's a tad bit late. Z-Dog and RT had to ventilate. Dude, I'm peeping to a whole new level. RT, step to this, I dare ya. Man, that was a fun piece. I got to perform that live at the AART, like American Association of Respiratory Therapists or something, in Vegas. That was hella fun, bro. Happy RT week. Y'all make it pop. Don't touch their vent, nurses, docs. Yeah, Vader can do anything, Louisiana. Bailey says, we did a pumpkin contest at work. We did the Brady Bunch theme, and the dad is Brady, and the mom ended up being the Pacemaker. Just FYI, I finally got it. It took me a second. I'm a little out of practice. Brady, do you see what you did there? Pacemaker? The Brady Bunch, dude. And the one day when this AV node was failing, do-do-do, and we knew that it was much more than a hunch, do-do-do-do-do, that this code must somehow involve atropine. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. Na-na-na-na-na. Don't shock bradycardia. The Brady Bunch. I don't know what's going on, people. I don't know why I said atropine. That's not right. Maybe it's right. I don't remember. Epi. I gave Epi. Why not? Why not give Epi? Bertilium. That's how old I am. Just give Bertilium for bradycardia. Makes no sense. Oh, Bailey's got it. Here we go. Here's the story of a lovely pacer who was saving lives each and every day. Da-na-na-na-na. Nice. You guys are strong. Docs talk to strangers every day, says Phil Hassard, but I don't know that I'm a doc anymore. I don't know how I identify. I don't know what my pronouns are anymore. It's not doctor. That's not my pronoun anymore. Well, sometimes. Depends. I'm fluid. I'm Dr. Fluid. Let's see. Louisiana drummer says, but you aren't down to clown with medical records, LOL. Got to get those H&Ps done. Oh, dude, that is down with the sickness. I did a talk for the association that represented physical transcriptionists back in the day. I don't even know if they exist anymore because now everything's like voice recognition. But Yeah, I'm down with EMR. I'm down with the medical records, man. I used to go down there and be like, give me that chart. They give you the physical chart. Old school, bitch. That's how we do it. Sin Juarez says, life has definitely been lifing for me these days. I'm trying to lean into it. My goal for the rest of the year is to do something that makes me uncomfortable or scares me several times a week. I call that getting out of bed. That is my act of defiance. Because that shit is real. The minute you get out of bed and enter consensus reality, actually, the minute you wake up and reality starts to reform itself from whatever dream or empty consciousness that you had during sleep, that's when, you know, things start to get real and challenging, because consensus reality is kind of a shit show. But here's the thing, like, you go through these phases in awakening where it's like you wake up and you realize you're not your story, you're not the body, you're not the mind, you're not your thoughts. Okay, great. Then you kind of re-identify with I'm the spiritual awakened one, and then you have the spiritual ego, and then all the shadow stuff comes up and you start going through all your conditioning and all of that and get these energetic things and everything is unity and all the other different threads of awakening. And then something really magical seems to happen as the self and identity starts to fall away, is you seem to come right, I'm just speaking from my own experience, you seem to come right back and sit your ass right down in consensus reality. You don't take any of it seriously, but you take it all very sincerely. And you seem to just meet people where they are. Maybe it's at Whole Foods, maybe it's at Costco. And you fucking talk about whatever and you do whatever, and lifes. And sometimes you're scared, and sometimes there's despair, and sometimes there's love, and sometimes there's joy, and all the flavors and textures of life show up beautifully and perfectly from nowhere for no one, but it feels like a you doing it, and then it doesn't. And it doesn't matter, because it's all exactly what it is. It just couldn't be any different, and that is perfect. Perfect! Fucking perfect! It's great. Really. As sucky as it can be, it's fucking great. Yeah, so I'm glad you're leaning into that shit. Down with the sickness. Get up, get down with the sickness. Bailey says, are you even a real doctor? What is it? I don't even know what that means. Maybe. I don't know. I went to UCSF medical school, did 3 years of Stanford residency, practiced at Stanford for like a decade, then went to Vegas, practiced, built a clinic, did all that nonsense. So the answer is actually no. I have no idea what that means, what a real doctor is, because a doctor is another story. It's another consensus reality. It's another bag of conditioning. So at some point I had that, and now it doesn't feel like that. Now I don't even know how to fucking treat bradycardia on a live, because we're the Brady bunch. Cute Pie from NY. Cutie Pie from NY. I like that. I love NY. And I love cutie pies. Says, welcome back. Remember Welcome Back, Kotter? Most people don't. Remember The Greatest American Hero? Most people do, because it was badass. So was Welcome Back, Kotter, if we're being completely honest. Chris, how you doing? Got our Berkeley connection, Chris. I identify as the paper chart patient ID card ink stamper machine that could also amputate a digit. Dude, that is a serious identity. I know that. I remember those things. Man, paper charts. Good stuff. What is Johnny Cakes? Says, when are you going to do a review of the documentary An Inconvenient Study? I don't know what that is, because I just can't watch much TV these days. Because it's like, documentaries in particular, they like take an angle, they take some stuff, and they spin a story. So it's another view. So that's great. It's enjoyable if you enjoy that sort of thing. I don't really anymore. I enjoy kind of inhabiting whatever view's in front of me at that moment. Like, hang out in Whole Foods with two people that have a totally different life experience than you, and have a conversation, and they're total strangers and feel as connected as anything. Like, doesn't matter what they believe or what their views are, they're exactly what they are. And it's glorious. So it's very hard to take a stand or a stance or hold a position for very long without it just crumbling into dust. Right now, for me, that's me. Your mileage will vary. Let's see. Oh, hi, Diana from Lisbon. Good to see you. I got to come visit you. Louisiana Drummer says, wish health info would get recognized like respiratory. Nah, we're like the Sith Lords of the hospital. That's right. You guys just sit there in the basement and you're like, oh, I'm afraid this chart will be quite operational when your patient arrives. You guys are you're the dark side. It's so dark. So dark. So dark. Like gluteal cleft dark. Like that dark. Hanasteri says, I can relate to the paper chart patient ID ink stamper content. Dude, I comment. I remember that shit. Man, so when I volunteered at a hospital in high school, like, so this was the deal. It wasn't high school, it was college. So in college, you know, you're playing the game to get into medical school, and I knew I had to do some volunteer work in a hospital. So I asked my dad, I was like, Pops, like, hook me up. I'm here for the summer. Hook me up with like somebody at the hospital that I can shadow or do some volunteering. And so what does he do? He hooks me up in the radiology department, which I had no interest in. And what did they make me do? But file paper x-rays, like the physical x-rays, not paper, but whatever their films were, the physical films. And so all I did was file films, and then occasionally the radiologist would like let me look over his shoulder. And that was my summer. It was terrible. But I remember going, yeah, I'm not doing radiology. And then I married a radiologist. So that was a smart move. I diversified. What's up, Nazaya? Let's scroll down here. Helene Lowell says, been thinking about you the last few days, wondering where you at, and here you are. Always high frequency vibes. Ah, Helene. I have a good friend here named Helene as well. So that is a good name for high frequency vibes, whatever that is. I'm glad to be it for you. For us, I should say. Let's see. Scrolling down. Alassonoloramor says, the machine is called an Addressograph. What? That sounds crazy. Bring me the Addressograph. Or better yet, you may fire the Addressograph when ready, Lord Vader. I like that, Addressograph. So that's the thing that stamps the patient's name on the chart and then can amputate your fingers. Krista says, I miss Vinay. Dude, I don't. I talk to him all the time. He is hilarious. Yeah, the man, FDA. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm not going to say nothing. DeJansen59 says, I'm vibing and burning some Palo Santo. I don't know what Palo Santo is, but I'm down to clown with that, as long as it smells good. What else? What else, gang? I've caught up with the comments. I need some comments to keep the engine of distraction going, or else I'm just going to disappear into the void in front of your eyes, which will look just like me sitting here staring at the camera. Oh, man. This stuff is weird. Let's keep going. Bourbonopoly says, lighting is on point today. Looking good, brother. That is a comment that fucking lights me up, no pun intended, because if you saw the shit involved in this lighting, there's like a table where I've jimmy rigged this freaking LED light with this weird diffuser on it. It's on a slider, so I have to dim it just right. And then over here, I've got my standard studio set up, but I've jimmy rigged it so it does some weird shit. And then I got the guest camera over here. And I'm like, I'm going for that moody Monday kind of vibe. And I'm glad you enjoy it. Hang on, someone's texting me. I got to make sure it's not an emergency. Oh, the power went out at my house. That's not good. Luckily, we have solar with a battery backup because we're those people. So luckily, and also my wife is not working from home today, so she's at Stanford, so she doesn't need the power anyways. All these things, just the mind just does. You don't need to think about stuff. It just gets done. It just gets thought about. You're not doing that. You don't have to solve a problem. The problem just gets solved. You just think you're doing it. But thoughts go, and they make you feel like you've done something. It's crazy. Like I just solved this problem of the power going out because I had to make sure this and that, and I don't need to do this, and I don't need to do that. No, that just happens. It feels like we have agency that we're doing it. That's the miracle of like the illusion. It's great. Lindsay Lou says, fellow Rush fan here. What do you think about their upcoming tour and drummer? So someone just told me they were touring with a different drummer. I know nothing about it. To me, Rush is Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart. And that's it. And when Neil died, that was the end of Rush as an ongoing concern. But, you know, they're going to maybe they'll try to pull a Journey, you know, where Journey got that one karaoke singer from the audience that like sings better than Steve Perry, Filipino guy. And now they were touring with him. Like, I'm forever yours. Faithfully down, down, down. That was how we used to joke with my Filipino nurse friends when that happened. I was like, dude, how would that? There's got to be a touch of the accent still there. There's just got to be. And that's what makes it beautiful. Medical records on microfiche was wild. Cutie Pie from NY. Oh, man. Anything on microfiche was wild. You'd go to the library. You have to dig up some old archives, go through the microfiche. Some crazy shit, man. These kids these days, they so spoiled. Let's see. Tammy Horvath says, hi from Michigan, rural hospital medicine, and I charted on paper. I remember at a conference they showed what your chart looks like when it's blown up to be 8 foot tall in front of a jury. Oh, dear God. My penmanship. That's all the jury's thinking is shit. These doctors really do write like shit. Kristen says, my daughter is an undergrad and is interested in continuing to medical school. Any advice? Ooh. Welcome to the unknown. We have every moment is the unknown, but it's especially unknown with AI and all the changes going on. I would just say embrace chaos, embrace the unknown. This is no longer a path that you used to imagine was some certain path to certain stability and certain happiness. It's not like that. It's the unknown in every second. So if she embraces that chaos, and it has a true passion for this and has explored anything else she might want to do more. So that's the main advice is like, if there's something in your life you want to do more than medicine, you better explore that first before you go to medicine. I did it backwards. I went into medicine because I was like, well, I guess I can do this, but I kind of want to be a professional clown. And then I back-assed into it. So I'd say, see if you can explore your passion. If your passion is medicine, full steam ahead. Just be aware that you have no idea what's happening and no one else does either. Just have that healthy humility and kind of curiosity and wonder that the thing just is unfolding. It's just crazy. It's a crazy path. It is nuts. It is nuts. Okay, dude, being a doctor, learning to be a doctor, holy fucking shit, it is crazy. If I really reflect on what I've been through, just my own experience, and it's all thought and it's all memory now, so it's not imminent. But even as it was imminent, just getting the flavor, the reflection and consciousness of that, man, it was nuts. The sleep deprivation, the stress, the joy, the wonder, the curiosity, the awe, the beauty, the tears, the laughter, all of it. My God. Wow. I mean, to get to actually experience that range of humanity. That is a gift. So my advice is, fuck, if that's what she wants to do, fucking, beautiful. And when it sucks, if it sucks, so what? That's part of it too. Then you go to the next thing, you turn it into something that's yours, whatever it is. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own experience. It took a while. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of trepidation. And when it's time to let that identity go, let that go and do the next thing, whatever that is for you. Only you will know, and you won't even know because it'll do itself. You just got to get out of the way. The sense of you has to get out of the way. Maybe. Even that's saying too much. Helene says, high frequency vibes, meaning uplifting energy, soul soothing, nonsense words, insightful words, nice energy. Helene, you want to do a little nice energy? Let's do that. I had all these words I was going to say, and the minute there was settling into this, the words make no sense. and there's just this. Perfectly what it is. Beyond any descriptions of nice energy, not nice energy. Perfect. I just do that the whole time, and you guys will all tune out, but really it's a kind of tuning into this. Mental noise calms down. Mental noise calms down, and it's just the dancing sensations in the body, what we call the body. What is a body? It's a story. It's a dance. That doesn't mean that you can't inhabit a view, a conceptual overlay where the body is a series of organs and anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, all the things that you need to do to make your way in the world. Because as you know, making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Ooh, isn't it nice to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Almanistasista. Alman Sista says, she's a female drummer who played with Jeff Beck, I believe. Wait, Rush got a female drummer who played with Jeff Beck? Sold. Done. Perfect. You don't need to say anymore. That sounds amazing. That sounds like enough of a twist that I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to Google that after we're done. Invisible airwaves crackle with life. Bright antenna bristle with the energy. Emotional feedback on a timeless wavelength. Bearing a gift beyond price, almost free. All this machinery making modern music can still be open-hearted. Dude, Rush. I don't do any music justice, but just Rush. Just say Rush and you're good. H-Zomb says, exploring any other passions first is such good advice. I mean, that's the thing, right? Otherwise, there's always regret. There's always like a pull. Maybe it's not what you like. Maybe you're like drifting into it because your parents pushed you or whatever. T.S. Roby says, fuck, I just wanted to join in. There you go. Helene says, I was a hospice nurse. Brother passed at 13, sister at 33, both from cystic fibrosis. Oh, my God. And now with all our treatments and everything, huh? And this was back then. Lots of suffering, lots of awareness. Ooh. What a thing, huh? And now you're taking that and you're gifting that to other people through what you do. That suffering. Beautiful. My favorite patients were the cystic fibrosis patients at Stanford. When we would do pulmonary, they were challenging. There was so much going on. They knew themselves better than any doctor could know. They were young. They were feisty as fuck. Just great, great, great humans. And they just, through adversity, became so resilient, you know? Sam Bam 29 says, in 2011, I requested my dad's medical records from his PCP. He'd been seen since the 70s. All his records were on 2x5x7 note cards. Damn, homie. That's awesome. In high school, you were the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? I got the sickest vendetta. When it comes to my cheddar, dude, 50 cents. I consider him $50 because I'm an optimist. Actually, a pessimist. Becky's Band says, hey, Z-Dog. How are you, Becky's Band? T.S. Roby, oh, even better, presents. You don't have to wait for Christmas for presents. Presents, that's so corny. I can't believe that came out of my mouth. I don't know where that came from. I'm not doing it. That's where I truly deny a self. I truly deny free will. I think Zubin did not do that. Did not make that joke. That was the universe. Jenny says, not clinical, clerical, ER registration. Love it. Oh, nice. ER registration. That is fun stuff. You'll see the world there. Sentimental Junkie says all the things thinging. That's right. That's what this is, right? Everything, everythinging all at once. Because where else would it be? Where's everyone you've lost? Here, because where else could they be? There's no elsewhere. Everyone you've lost is a thought. Everything is here. That's a cliche until it's not, until it's felt. Dr. Kaveh Abammanpour, OMG. That's all you need to say, Doc, is OMG. Oh my God. Sketch Monster says, nice camera. Thanks. It's a Red Cinema Komodo. No, not Komodo. Oh, what is it? It's called it is a Komodo. Yeah. Red Cinema Komodo. Yeah. When I bought it back when I was during COVID, not like it mattered some way. It was expensive. And we set it all up with the nice lighting and everything. And now I've got all this stuff and nothing to say. Just this. Kind of beautiful, actually. I can just talk about whatever is arising, not worry about views or losing supporters or subscribers or followers or whatever. It doesn't matter. The people who are here with me, and it's us. It's in us. You know, that's a story and that's a thought, but it's also energetically a reality in this moment because everything is right here. That's why I love live. I love live video. I just really prefer it to pre-record because it's us. Like now. Crazy. You could never have done this years ago. You didn't have the ability to just live stream to a bunch of strangers. You couldn't do this. It's crazy. Awesome. Clovis West, 91 in the house. Hell yeah. Chad. I love it. It's my high school graduating class. Sketch Monster. The Rock looks like you now. People used to say, the funniest thing I ever heard, someone left a comment on one of my videos on YouTube. You know, YouTube is, they can be a little saucy. And they said, this guy looks like end stage, like, what was it? The Rock with end stage AIDS. I was always wanted to be the end stage Rock, you know? Now apparently The Rock looks like end stage Z-Dog. Oh yeah, in tune with Melinda says, yay, had been waiting on the rush. Man, you know? You know what I heard the other day was, really brought me back was Passage to Bangkok, which is like from like one of their albums in the 70s. I forget which album. Was it 2112? It might have been from 2112. And they're like, yeah, it's about smoking weed in all these different countries. It's like, we're on the train to Bangkok, aboard the Thailand Express. We'll hit the stops along the way. We only stop for the best. What was that? Wisps of smoke in Bogota. We burn the midnight oil. Dude. The fragrance of Afghanistan rewards a long day's toil. Then what? Pulling into Kathmandu, smoke rings fill the air. Perfume by a Nepal night, the express gets you there. We're on the train to Bangkok. Do-do-do-do-do, aboard the Thailand Express. Dude, I'm going to stop now. I'm sorry, non-Rush fans. And Rush fans, you're welcome. You're extremely welcome. Oh, thank you, Helene. You're very sweet. Cutie Pie from NY says, a passion and a purpose. That's right. That's what but there's no purpose. That's the thing. We invent purpose and that's fine. That's beautiful. But man, from here, there's no purpose. This is the purpose. This is fucking crazy. It is crazy, people. It doesn't need a purpose. The minute the need for purpose drops, oh shit, that's another degree of freedom. My God. Wow. It's crazy. Yeah, they were your greatest teachers, Helene. Your sibs with CF. Great song, Diana. Yeah. RT Strong says, haha, is RT, I love your videos, man. Z Dog and RT gotta ventilate. Chords, tubes. And what was it? Chords, lube, we tube, everything. What was it? RT, where rhythm is life and life is breathing. Something like that. If you smoke like I smoke, then it's Advair every day. And if your gas is acidic, RT will ventilate. Jenny Crown says, my daughter was an ICU charge nurse in San Diego during COVID, now went to management to get away from patient care. What can I do or say to help? How about this? I love that you're doing you. That's it. That's how you help. Fully accept, fully witness what she is and is going through and is doing. Don't judge, don't resist, don't push back, don't advise if you can avoid it, unless she asks. That's what you can do. Really witness her. That's what I'm most grateful for about my dad at the end of his life, is he really witnessed what I was. He didn't say, he used to say, why aren't you practicing anymore? Why don't you go do more talks? Don't you understand? Like, you still need to keep making money and doing all this because, you know, you're never really safe. Because that's how he was raised. He was raised in India in a poor family. They used to have to like fish in the river to get food. Like, it was crazy. Of course he sees the world that way, even though he worked so hard to provide that stability and give us a launching pad to be able to work hard and provide stability for our families. And when that stability is there, we have more freedom to go and explore the complete uncertainty of every moment. And so towards the end, that's what he would ask me, what am I up to? And I would say, I'm doing this and this and this. And he would ask me, so you don't want to do talks anymore? I'm like, no. What do you feel like each day? Don't you feel like you don't have a purpose? No, feels perfect. I feel connected to everything and everyone in every moment, and I've never been more at peace. And he said, wow, that's great. Beautiful. Yeah, it's great to be accepted by the guy you're trying to impress all your life, right? Because that's the conditioning. And I'd given up trying to impress him, but it was still beautiful to see the acceptance. It was like, oh. And, you know, in a way, the only way he could accept me is that I could accept him exactly as he is. Meet him exactly where he was. Don't try to push and pull on him, because he didn't ask for that. If he asks, hey, what can I do different? That's one thing. That's not what he was asking. He wants to be seen too, like everybody, as they are, as they are. The older you get, the more you're like as you are. Harder to wear a mask. You know, if you're doing it. Let's see. Just getting you to your comments here. Oh, thank you, Diana. Yeah, he did, and I loved him. Okay. So I'll wait for some more comments to catch up. Meanwhile, we'll just sit in this presence that isn't a presence. The mind wants to turn everything into a thing, a thought, an object. So we talk about presence. And it's a good halfway house because it gives concessions to the thinking brain. It's like, yeah, presence. Okay, this is kind of field of nowness in which everything seems to happen. And that can be very much a relief when you're up in your head, up in thought, up in future and past, which are appearances. When it reduces to presence, it's just a breath out and a breath in. and just the dance. And then the thought, the concept, the image of presence is let go somehow, miraculously. And there's just this unknowable, unspeakable thisness. Not even here, because where else? Not even now, because when else? Beyond thought, beyond conceptual, beyond any duality of me and that. And it's always, always been the case. We just conveniently ignore it by looking into thought, telling stories about presence, having images in our mind about what the unconditioned reality is, what spirit is versus matter versus God versus this. It's like, or just sometimes it puts a big shit-eating grin on my face. Bublin says, truth. Hi, Livia. Long time no see. Scroll down. Kay Purdy says, over the last few months, I've learned it's so good to just sit, be, and breathe. That is so peaceful. If that's all you ever learn, like that is such a powerful lesson. It's just, just being. It seems like that anchor to the life stream, the stream of thisness is the breath. It can seem like that. So why not? Just let that be all there is. Just that dance of sensation, sound, texture. Then all the lights and the colors and the shapes, they come in. But they don't really come in because they're always there, even with your eyes closed. And then sights, sounds, sensations, thoughts, they can all blur into just the textures of this. No distinctions between thought and sensation and seeing and sound. They're all the dance. Totally ephemeral. Not solid, but also not solid. Impermanent, but also not so. Beyond any description. Helene says, maybe you're smiling from the bliss of the now. When there isn't even a now? And all the masks drop and all the consensus reality crumbles into story? It's like the face just does this thing. Yeah. It's good stuff. But also it's totally neutral. It's not really good or bad. It's just what it is. Yeah. So what else, gang? Gang, 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 gang. Everything's gnarly. Dude, what's up with Cat's Eye? You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, hypnosis. I don't know. That sounds. My grandfather was a hypnotist, actually. So maybe there's just some hypnosis genes that transmit sometimes. But it's yeah, it's more this. Yeah, bedtime meditation would be lively, says Diana. Yeah, maybe we should just do some together meditation. I mean, it's there's no meditation now. It's weird for me. It's meditation is just whatever's arising. Sometimes that, like this morning, I went and sat in my favorite cafe, and which, by the way, if you guys want to if you want to stalk me, show up at Sama Coffee House in San Mateo on some morning, and there's a non-zero probability that I'll be there. Having a masala coffee or something they call a heat wave, which is one of my favorite drinks they make. I make it super spicy with cayenne pepper. It's coffee. It's like a latte with honey and cayenne pepper. And I have it with almond milk because I like almond milk. And I'll sit there and just be with the coffee and the energy and the dance of that. And I call that meditation. The ladies who work behind the baristas, they're hilarious, man. They all know me. So they're like, oh, here comes, they're like, did you find your favorite seat to meditate? And they figured out that I was meditating, even though I wasn't doing anything like meditation in the classic sense. I'm just sitting there with my coffee, just like this. And they could just tell because I would sit there for like an hour, not look at my phone, occasionally take a sip of the coffee, not talking to anybody. So meditation just becomes synonymous with lifing. So if we want to share a meditation, we just see what arises. That's how it is now. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be very intentional. And I think at that time, that's what my mind was needing or seemingly could do. It couldn't just let go into this. There was too much distraction, too much thought, belief, self, all of it. In Tune with Melinda says, genuine curiosity. What are your family dinners like? Do you ever get caught up in the to-dos of family stuff? Oh, absolutely, because that's the beauty of this thing. There's no longer, this is actually, I think, kind of central. We have this conditioning that I think happens, especially people on some spiritual path or who are doing spiritual things, meditating, seeking, that sort of thing. There's some feeling that you somehow transcend and bypass normal life, and the normal aspects of life just become irrelevant or somehow unbothersome. You don't involve yourself in them. And to an extent that's not easy to talk about, this is true. There is a true letting go of ownership. There's a true equanimity at the base of everything, a going with knowing that you are not doing it, knowing that you never were doing it, this relinquishment of control. But what isn't spoken about is that, as often, some people talk about this, is that the only, so funny actually, if people knew this, it would scratch their heads like, what? There's a dumping right back into the human existence with eyes wide open, and you live it fully as a human. So that means kids applying to college, there's transmitted stress, there's advice, there's listening, but it's all kind of held in like a, it's all kind of held by nothing. It's no longer believed beyond the dance. There can be a transient stickiness, and there's still stuff here that arises that's sticky. I know there's still a lot of shadow stuff. There's a lot of conditioning here. There's that very subtle sense of I that's sticky, that I feel it loosening, very subtle, and it's a little scary because it's the last container before this like fundamental, like, oh God, nothing is certain, nothing is permanent, nothing is substantial, nothing is predictable. Like truly knowing that. There's still a subtle sense of I that's like, yeah, but maybe it's predictable. So dinners are just like normal dinners. There just isn't a whole butt ton of reactivity that seems to happen. That's true for me and my wife. Yeah. The kids are kids, man. They're what they are. It's a hoot. It's a lot of fun. And it can be really stressful. Because you feel everything. You feel all their shit. You feel when they're having a bad day, when they're anxious, you're totally porous to it. Because it's one field of this. It's like one happening. There's not a distinction. And there's no ownership of this child. That's another thing. So people ask me, oh, are you glad you had children? And I don't even know what that question means. Because what do you mean I had children? I don't understand that at all. Of course, I didn't squeeze one out of my vagina. So that's what my wife would say if I talked like this. She would say, well, you didn't fucking... Of course, you can say, what do you mean? I know what it meant. It was fucking excruciating the first time. But she still understands what I'm pointing at. We talk about this, actually. Vagina. I just like to say vagina. Kathy says, ooh, masala coffee. That's a new one. Love a chai latte. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I mean, this place has these proprietary drinks. It's coffee with this masala spice in it. It's spicy. They use half and half and some maybe condensed milk. It's on ice. It's really good. The heat wave is hot. It is fucking great. Sama Cafe in San Mateo. Go there and tell them ZDog MD Zubin sent you. And they will know, they should know who you're talking about, at least if you get the right baristas and the owner. Although I don't know if she knows my name. She may not know my name, but some of the baristas do. No laptop in a coffee shop, a dead giveaway. Sitting in silence and dealing with what comes up is meditation. Yeah, there you go. That's it. D. Jansen. Chop wood, carry water. Exactly, Kathy. I mean, that's the end of the Zen ox herding pictures, is the guys just in the market with helping hands. In fact, today I started this conversation talking about my experience in Whole Foods, just running into two total strangers and striking up a conversation with them. This couple, young couple in their late 20s. And it felt like that. It felt like I'm literally in the marketplace, holding my shopping bag, talking and being open about all the things with total strangers. And they were very open too. It is really remarkable. It's a real solid glimpse of what that's like. Now, of course, I don't have to be back at an office. I set my own hours, so it feels a lot easier for me to do that. But I know people who have those things, those responsibilities, and they still feel like this. They have that clarity of chop wood, carry water. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It's the same thing. It's just totally different. So simple, though, that we miss it. We overlook it. We think, oh, I did all that just to come back here. And yet, that's the only way it could have been. Lissa Rose says, do you find this sense of being is off-putting to most people? Here's what I find. The people that I end up talking to or that talk to me resonate with this way of being, even if they're not experiencing it. The ones that don't, the ones that are put off, and I can tell when they are, I know what that is because I've been there. It's like there's something in the body that's like, no. It either takes it personally, or it says, I don't have that, or I want that, or I don't want that, or it's the story of I takes over and resists. And when you threaten ego directly, even through just some degree of embodying what that is, ego can act up. I know because I've done that. And I still experience it from time to time. It's funny. The flash of it, like an echo of it. And so most people it's fine, but then again, there's a self-selection bias because the people I tend to interact with are already, I can feel just energetically, like even the people I talked to today in Whole Foods, I was like, something about these two. Go up and talk to them. And the employee I talked to too. Another young person. Yeah, really nice, really sweet, actually. So that's a great question. Shitty Crown, trust me, understand, no control. Extremely bipolar husband, mom and dad, only sibling. My brother died very young. You know what? You know about no control from life showing you. See, for most people, they don't necessarily have that grace. They still think there's control. They still think it could be other than it is. They still think they can do something about it. And the truth is they were never there. They were never doing any of it. No one is. This whole thing is playing out. It's like a dream, but it has consequences that are felt as apparent reality, and that matters. That's called suffering. It matters. You can't just blow it off and say it's a dream and bypass into some emptiness and some platitudes about control. In the end, it's like you lean into the suffering, you open your heart, and it happens spontaneously. Let's see. For health and food, are you talking about spiritual awakening? For lack of a better term, yes. Because I don't know what else to call it, but it's not spiritual and it's not really an awakening. All the words are wrong. It's just life showing you what this is, what you are and aren't, really what you aren't. And then how is that lived? How's that lived by the apparent you? That's really what we're talking about. So we can call it awakening. That's fine. Because what else are we going to call it? That's what they've called it throughout the millennia. But it makes it a thing. It makes it an attainment. It makes it something that you have. None of those things are true. That's what's quite remarkable. Just checking this text to make sure it's nothing I need to respond to. Oh, it's a delete and report spam type of deal. Yep, that's right, for health and food. Yep is the correct descriptor. Man, we've been going a while, huh? I mean, I'm happy to chill out and talk. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 4. Actually, I have to go home and bring food for the kids. Got to order some Mexican food. Pick it up on the way home. Chop some avocados, put them in there too, because why pay for extra avocados when you got some at home, dog? We're on the train to Bangkok, aboard the Thailand Express. Dude, never give me even a window to sing Rush badly, because I will do it. Do you share this with your kids? Palace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember that? Electric Company? Yes, I've told my kids about this back when I had a bigger spiritual ego and thought I had the answers to the universe. And I explained to them everything is empty of substance, impermanent, and unsatisfying. And here's how you can explore it. This thing is kind of like being in the Matrix. You're sort of like an avatar. That's how I talked about it with them. And the youngest one was profoundly destabilized and terrified for like a month. And I couldn't have regretted talking that way more, but I couldn't help it at the time. And the oldest was like, yeah, I know. But what's that got to do with me? I still need to get a job, put a house over my head, have, get married, have kids, all the things I think I want to do. And I was just like, fuck yeah, that's right. It doesn't matter. It's chop wood, carry water. She was the best teacher for me, because I was like, both of them. Because the youngest was like, I always knew it was totally, this is like a dream. Like, I always knew that. And I was like, oh shit, no. Before you form an ego, don't point to its dissolution. Form the healthy ego. So we turned that around real quick, especially with my wife slapping me around and me sitting with her going, yeah. Everything I said is true, but it's not true. It's true and not true. And this is the truth. There is no way things are. This is not a dream, and it's not a dream. It's not a matrix, and it's not a matrix. There's no way that things are. You can't talk about things. So all you have is your experience. So, little girl, what's your experience now? I like this food. There you go. That's as real as anything. What's your experience? I'm worried about a test tomorrow. That's as real as anything. Let's go with that. And then that solved that. So now they're just like, yeah, parents are crazy. That's cool. And they see how it's embodied. They don't hear it talked about because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. Such an idiot. I suck so much. Baka Reuben. That means stupid Reuben in Japanese. Quantification of residual plasmid DNA and SV40 promoter enhanced sequences in Pfizer Biotech. Okay, I don't know what that means. Now you lost me in concepts. True 12 North says, opening lines to a lovely Naomi Sharon poem. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. Let's do that again. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. Let's replace the word kindness with compassion. Let's replace it with love. It doesn't matter. Before you know love, what love really is, before you know what compassion really is, before you know what acceptance really is, before you know what forgiveness really is, you must lose everything. Every single fucking thing that you think is yours, is you, is this, goes. It goes. It was never there. It was never yours. It's like the bottom dropped out and you're falling. You're falling and falling and falling for so long that it doesn't even feel like you're falling anymore, because falling relative to what? And when all that goes, when it dissolves into a pool of weakened broth, what is left? This, exactly as it is, which means unconditional acceptance and love, because it couldn't be other than it is, and your heart opens. It opens in the face of suffering. It opens in the face of joy. It opens in the face of boredom. It opens in the face of frustration. It is never able to close fully again, because it never was in that way. It's always been open. Whatever this thing is we're calling a heart, we're just speaking, right? It's everything you are. It's just this loveness, love, 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 love. Unconditional perfection, even when it's miserable, even when it's a steaming piece of shit. Even when it's an addressograph, stamping a patient's name on a paper chart and amputating your finger. See how I brought that full circle? People, I have no formal training, and it shows. Yeah, True 12 North says, like on your knees in the dirt, losing everything. It will humble you. As Adyashanti says, this is one of his great things. He says, you don't storm the gates of heaven. You go naked and on your knees, on your face. That's how you're admitted into the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven is here on the earth, but men do not see it. Everything. Z-Dog MD had to lose who he was, had to lose being Z-Dog MD. And now he does these stupid videos for like 40 people. And it couldn't be better. And even that, like, what comes back is just what's happening. What Z-Dog MD is that? That's a story. It's a fun one. Oh, I'm glad, Kristen, I'm glad the live resonated with you. We got a Zen dentist over here joining. That's hilarious. I love that. I wanted to be Zen Dog, start a new YouTube channel, but it sounds so pretentious. All right, gang. Gang, 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 gang. Cat's Eye fans? Anyone? Let's do this again soon. Whenever life knocks on the door, we'll answer it together. How about that? Make a little agreement between us, which is between I and I, between because there's no space between us. Isn't that crazy? You guys are right here. I'm right there, and there's no here and there. So meet me where there's no me. It's fun. All right, gang, I love you. Peace out. Until next time.